What's going on, family? What's going on? How is everybody doing? Listen, this video is a video not out of request, but this is a video that I feel is needed by the people, whether people say it or not. So before I begin, I want you guys to make sure that you have a pen, a piece of paper, your iPad, your laptop, your phone, something that you can take notes with, all right? You need something to take notes with, all right? I recently did a poll on my Instagram, or really just asking a question, not necessarily, well, I guess you could call it a poll. I wanted to get a number, head count of those who have struggled or are currently struggling with their self-esteem, with their confidence, who specifically claim or believe that they have low self-esteem or low confidence. And as someone who has, for the most part of their life, been pretty confident, I just believe that in order for us as people, as humans, to reach our full potential, to get all that God has for us out of life, we have to learn and we have to do things in a practical way to increase our self-esteem and to increase our confidence. So this video is going to be to help you all identify and then apply how you can be more confident, how you can increase your self-esteem, how you can go from low self-esteem and throughout time putting some of these things into place into having high self-esteem, because I want you all to feel good about yourself. I'm sure you guys want to feel good about yourself, and I believe it's necessary in order for us to be the best versions of ourselves for us, but also for the people around us, so that they can say, you know what? It's cool being around Courtney. It's cool being around Chris. It's cool being around Jake. It's cool being around Nate, because he is confident, because she is confident, because she inspires something in me. And I think our ultimate charge on this planet is to inspire. If we're just talking in the natural realm, is to inspire, is to help, is to encourage, is to uplift. Spiritually, is to spread the gospel, is to baptize those in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, to make disciples of all the nations. But we're not going down that path today. Okay, we're going to keep this in a very practical, natural sense, so you guys can really understand and comprehend what I'm talking about. And I promise you, if you do these things, these are not things that are super complex or anything. Some of the things you may have heard, some of them you may not have heard, but they're not anything that you're going to be like, what? But I promise you, because I've worked with many groups, individuals, with life coaching, speaking, lectures, workshops. This is what I do. I've been doing this since 2014. I know how to develop and how to work and how to grow and how to help people become the best versions of themselves. And so first and foremost, get your pens, get your pencils, your highlighters, get it ready. Point number one is you, the working man, you, the working woman. First of all, in order to build some confidence, you need to begin doing something, whether it's a hobby, a business venture, a way for you to make money that you actually enjoy. All right, I'm going to read you guys something that was a bit alarming to me, but also I understand it, and I wasn't too surprised, but it saddened me to read it. It says, a global poll conducted by Gallup has uncovered that out of the world's 1 billion full-time workers, only 15% of people are engaged at work. That means that an astronomical 85% of people are unhappy in their jobs. 85%. If we had 10 people right here, standing right in front of me, standing right in front of you, 8 out of those people would be unhappy in their jobs. There would be less than 20%, less than 2 people, so like 1.5 of them who were actually enjoying their work. Can you imagine that if we had 10 here, 10 here, 10 here, 10 here, 10 here? About 8 out of each of those groups would claim and say that they're not happy in their workplace. And so this affects your self-esteem. This affects the way you interact with other people. This affects your relationship. This affects your sex life. This affects the way you feel about yourself. Because when you're going to an environment that you dislike, that you hate, that you can't stand every single day, imagine having to wake up. As soon as you hear that alarm go off, whatever you got your alarm set to, the annoying iPhone one or whatever you have it set to, You wake up and you know, I'm about to go and work for at least 8 hours and do something that I don't enjoy and do something that's not fulfilling to me. So how do you think that's going to affect your self-esteem? You're going to think, well, this, and if you're stuck in it, if you feel like you're stuck in it, if you've made attempts to get out of it, you may begin to believe this is my reality. This is my life. I'm going to have to do this for the rest of my life. I love this quote that says you can live 1 year 80 times or live 80 years one time. You can live 1 year 80 times or 80 years one time, meaning you can live a different year having excitement for the next 80 years, having excitement and adventure and fulfillment and joy in each of those years, some ups and downs, obviously, because that's how life works. Or you can do the same exact same thing, go to the same dead-end job, work for the same annoying boss, go deal with those same annoying coworkers for the next 80 years, and you are going to be dead by 30, but you will not be physically buried until 75. And so I'm going to read this note that I wrote down. I said, it's a must that you begin either a job, hobby, or supplemental income doing something that you enjoy, preferably something you're good at. Write this down. For many people, they are sad and depressed by the jobs that they go to daily. There's no inspiration or motivation. So it's imperative that you figure out what you are good at. You need to begin identifying. I want you to start by making a list. Let's just start with 5 things. I need you to make a list. 5 things that you are good at. All right. And then right next to it, I want you to do 5 things that fulfill you. 5 things you're good at, and then 5 things that fulfill you. Now, if any of those line up, the things that fulfill you and the things that you're good at, I want you to begin doing that ASAP. I want you to begin doing that ASAP. I want you to get put your foot to the put the pedal to the metal, put your foot to the ground. I want you to get started ASAP. All right. It's imperative that you start doing these things as soon as possible. So whether that's in the form of going skating, whether it's starting a knitting business, whether it's starting a t-shirt selling company, whether it's public speaking, it could be cooking, it could be baking, it could be teaching. There's something for that person that says, oh, well, I don't know what I'm good at. I don't know. You're going to have to figure it out. You're going to have to go back to that place in your childhood where you were a little wondrous, adventurous kid with big dreams and begin to visualize and say, okay, this is what I wanted to do when I was a kid. Why has that left me? Now, this doesn't mean that you act reckless, immature, and you just go into Wonderland and act like reality doesn't exist and like you don't have bills to pay. It doesn't mean that. You still keep that job, still keep that income, but you need to begin doing something that's going to bring in fulfillment. And even if it's not something that you're earning money from, it could just be an extracurricular activity. It could be going and playing pool. It could be going and playing ping pong. Any of those things. Something that's going to fulfill you, that's going to bring you some joy that you can look forward to until you get out of that dead-end job or situation that you're in. Number 2, this may be a touchy one for some people, but your image and the way you look matters. I'm going to say it again. Your image and the way that you look matters. All right? And specifically for my Black people, your image and the way that you look matters. I'm talking directly to that group because I'm a part of that group. I'm African-American male. But your fitness, your weight, your body, it matters. We've told men and women that it doesn't matter. That you can just go through life, get your weight added on. We often are just with treatment. We don't really focus on prevention. I'm going to read you guys another statistic so you guys don't just think that I'm just coming just out of nowhere with this. It reads, only 1 in 4 U.S. adults and 1 in 5 high school students get the recommended level of physical activity. Not getting enough physical activity comes with high health and financial costs. It can contribute to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, several cancers, and obesity. In addition, low levels of physical activity are associated with $117 billion in healthcare costs every year. So only 1 in 4, 25%, and 1 out of 5 high school students get the recommended level of physical activity. Now that recommended level is Let me see. I'm gonna give you guys a recommended level of physical activity. Get at least 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity, or 75, an hour and 15 minutes of vigorous aerobic activity a week. That's it. Or a combination of moderate and vigorous activity. The guidelines suggest that you spread out this exercise during the course of a week. That's it. Get at least 100. This is via the Mayo Clinic, okay? 150 minutes. What is that? 120. What is that? About 2.5 hours? Or an hour and 15 minutes of vigorous aerobic activity a week. And most of us can't even do that a week. You can even do exercise from your house. You don't necessarily have to get a gym membership immediately. I do recommend you get one. You can get a Planet Fitness one for $10. You can get a black card for $20-some. You can go to the Y. That's what I use. Me and my wife, the YMCA. You can go to a Crunch. You can go to Lifetime. There's no excuse at this point. And so what that's going to start to do, one, it's going to create discipline in your life when you do begin exercising. I'm a big proponent for health and for exercising. I ain't perfect. I'm not some super large, super strong bodybuilder, but I care about my health, and I've stayed on course for the most part throughout my entire life because I've been an athlete, but I never stopped really training or working out. I was always doing something. If I took off maybe 3 or 4 or 5 months, whatever, and lost muscle or picked up a little around my abs that I didn't want, I was right back in there doing something about it. I wasn't just accepting defeat. No. So that being said, if you're seeing this progress happen, if you're a person with low self-esteem, and trust me, I know, I work with young people, middle-aged people, I work with all kind of people on health, on exercise, confidence, self-esteem, all of these things. Once you begin to see that weight drop, once you begin to see the body being sculpted, whatever the word is, into what it needs to be, into what it should be for your height, for your age, for your gender. Once you begin to see muscle being packed on, once you begin to get more flexible, you will automatically, naturally begin to love the person that you see. Because a lot of people, they may say this in front of folk, you're going to accept me the way I am, or girls, he got to accept you the way you are, girl. You can eat whatever, you can look however, you can pick up how much weight. But when they look in the mirror, butt naked, are you truly happy with what you see? Now, you can lie to everybody else, but you know how you feel and you know what you see behind closed doors. Now, this ain't me body shaming anybody, talking about anybody, but I'm going to give you real talk. It's a problem. And so if you, things don't change, I always say this, and this has happened to me in my life, things don't change until you get desperate. Your money ain't going to change until you get desperate and you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. You get sick and tired of being broke. You get sick and tired of having to borrow money. You get sick and tired of bills overlapping. You get sick and tired of having to live paycheck to paycheck. Until you get desperate and sick and tired, ain't nothing going to change. So this is for my sick and tired people. This is for my folk who out there who are sick of going through being sick, who are sick of living in the same weight range and feeling the same way and feeling bad about the way they look, like how their father, or grandfather, or mother, or auntie, or whoever may look. Not to mention, when you do exercise, I'm sure you have heard this before too, those endorphins get released. It says endorphins are released, and endorphins interact with the receptors in your brain that reduce your perception of pain. So imagine someone going through pain on a daily basis. Imagine someone who may be going through a traumatic event. Just by exercising, you're automatically reducing the pain that you may be feeling. It says it reduces your perception of pain. Then it says endorphins also trigger a positive feeling in the body similar to that of morphine. So you feel better. This is scientifically, biologically proven that you feel better. There are endorphins that are released in your body that you begin to feel better about yourself. And you just start somewhere small. Whether it can be home workouts, it can be you saying, you know what, I'm gonna do 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 25 jumping jacks every night. Okay, then I'm gonna start increasing it. I'm gonna start doing stuff from home until I maybe get comfortable with going into the gym. So now you get your gym membership, maybe get with the trainer. This is a second way, and especially for my Black people, where we see in our community our health is jacked up, where we have to take a stand and where we have to stand up and say, you know what, I need things to be different for me, because that's going to trickle down to my kids. It's going to trickle down to my kids' kids. It's going to trickle down. I ain't playing today. I hope y'all taking notes too, because these are the first two things I'm sure you've heard before. You need to implement them. My life changed when I figured out, you know what? I can make money doing speaking, doing workshops, working with the community, working with the youth, working with different groups, but I also enjoy it. I'm naturally good at it. I enjoy the whole process of putting notes and proposals together and impacting somebody and seeing their reaction. I enjoy those things. So why would I not do more of those things? So why would I not try to do that, even if I was in a job that I hated, that I was miserable at? That was my release. That was a way that helped me build confidence. And another thing that I used to always tell groups, and I still tell groups when I work with them, when it comes to you doing something that you enjoy, that you're naturally good at, setting goals gives you direction, and achieving those goals gives you confidence. So it could be a business. Now we're going back to the hobby point, or the extracurricular activity, or the supplemental income, right? When you begin to set goals, that's giving you the direction of the area or the route that you want to move in. But when you begin to accomplish those goals, I want you to celebrate yourself so that you can begin to say, you know what, Brittany's doing good. You know what, Chris is doing good. You know what, Nate is doing good. So I'm going to celebrate myself, and I'm going to build my confidence. The Bible says life and death lies in the power of the tongues. It also tells us that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So whatever you believe in your heart about you, those are the words that you're going to speak. Believe that. Number 3 is speaking up for yourself. No is no. You have a voice. Use it. Your voice has power. Use it. Begin with small no's. Small no's amount to big yeses. If you don't want to do something, be somewhere, use your voice. Begin using your voice and speaking up for yourself, because that's one of the best things that you can do. The more confident you are in your voice, the more confident exudes from your life. You don't always have to go where everyone else goes. You don't always have to be what everyone else wants you to be. You don't always have to say what everyone else wants you to say. Now, viewer, I'm not telling you to go and be rebellious, to go and be defiant. I'm not telling you to go and be a problem. What I am telling you is that you do have an option as to whether or not you want to go somewhere, be somewhere, do something. Some of you all are killing yourselves just to fit in with other people. Some of you all are literally draining yourselves to the point where you're not effective in your relationship, whether it's romantic or with friends, in your ministry. It could be at a church, in your job. You are literally draining yourself because you are scared to say no, because you want to people please, and you're killing yourself. You're killing your dreams. You're killing your health. You're killing your mindset. You're killing your joy. You're killing your relationships with other people by trying to keep up with everybody else. Those small no's doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you dislike other people. It just means that your voice holds power. And when you say no, let your no mean no. I'm going to say this, if someone is willing to befriend you, to get mad at you, to discredit you, to talk stuff about you because you said no in your best interest, that ain't your friend. That ain't someone that you want to be kicking it with, because they're selfish. Because if they're truly your friend, if they truly care about you, they're going to want you to do what's best for you so that you can ultimately be the best version of yourself. If you're drained, if you're unhappy, if you're not feeling your best self, if your confidence is low, you trying to stretch yourself thin and be what everyone else wants you to be is only going to lower that confidence. You can put on a front like you're good. You can put on a front like you have the energy. And some people be dead tired. I know. I talk to them. And observe people. I observe people. And they really don't want to go, or they really don't want to be around certain people, but they just do it just because they want to please everybody else. And what I'm telling you is that's not speaking up for yourself. Dr. King spoke up for himself. The Apostle Paul spoke up for himself. Malcolm X spoke up for himself. Jesus spoke up for himself. All of those people who made a major difference, and there are some people who are going to watch this who want to make a major difference. You have to be willing to say no. This could be no to drugs, no to peer pressure, no to sex before marriage. This can be no to a negative relationship. This can be no to a negative person. These no's bring power because it gives you confidence in your word. I want you to write that down. My no means no. And then lastly, I want you to change your walk. I want you to begin to change your walk. Your walk says a lot about your personality. Walk with a purpose, even if you have nowhere to go. Walk with assertiveness. I'm sure many of you have seen people with bad posture who slouch over when they walk. Walk like you're the coldest woman. Walk like you're the coldest man on earth, even if you're not. Begin changing paces with your walk so that you can change pace in your life. Some people may not be the richest. Some people may not be the smartest. Some people may not be the most educated, but their walk lets you know that this person is on their way to becoming those things because they're walking with the purpose. Even if they just walk into work and they just work somewhere like the gas station, McDonald's, the BP, Lowe's or something, just not downplaying those jobs, but just an average, normal, everyday job. But when you walk like you somebody, you begin to pace yourself as if you're that person. And before you know it, if your actions are following, you will become that person and your confidence will grow. Your confidence will grow. You need to change your walk. Now, I ain't getting into the medical part where some of y'all have scoliosis or your back may be at. Listen, I'm saying stand up tall. I'm saying walk like you somebody. Get you a nice shirt, button that shirt up, get you a nice dress shirt, get you get you something that's going to help you be more effective on your everyday walk. Metaphorically speaking, literally your walk or your walk with Christ. That's another story. You need to change your walk. I want you to do this for a week. I want you to do this. I want you, starting Monday, I want you everywhere you go, I want you to walk with purpose, and I want you to walk with assertiveness, not rude. Okay? You ain't got to be rude, but I want you to walk like you're somebody. I want you to begin to look at yourself in the mirror as if you're somebody. When you get dressed and when you walk out of that door, I want you to think in your mind, I'm somebody. Not in a cocky or arrogant way, but I just want you to begin to believe that I am somebody in God. I am somebody as a black man. I am somebody as a white woman. I am somebody as a Hispanic man. I am somebody as an African woman. I am somebody. Your walk says a lot about you because come on now, I'm about to start preaching. Even if you're not where you are supposed to be or not where you want to be, your walk lets me know that you're going to get there someday. Your walk lets me know that you're not just standing in one place. So I want you to begin to take notice and to be conscious of the way that you walk. Even the way you sit. Sitting straight up in a confident manner. Not slouched over. I want you to begin to look at yourself confidently. Now, it's going to take time. These things that I've given you, these practical practices, need to be applied on a daily basis. This is not an overnight cure or remedy, but these are things that Nate uses, and my confidence is pretty high. I believe in myself. I believe in God's ability to use me. I believe that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I believe that. I believe that whatever I put my mind to, I can accomplish. So these 4 things are for you. I want you to get a winner's mindset, not a loser's mindset. I want you to begin to see yourself as someone with good health, someone doing different hobbies that they enjoy. I want you to see yourself as someone who can speak up for themselves. I want you to walk with courage, with passion, with assertiveness, and begin to see yourself as God made you, which is successful, which is happy, which is abundant, which is living right, which is living healthy, and having a long, prosperous life. Listen, if you enjoyed this video, what I want you to do is click the link below. Make sure you subscribe, y'all. Make sure you share this video with your friends, with your family, your mother, father, anyone, someone who may be struggling with low confidence, with low self-esteem, someone who may be on their way out, someone who may want to take their life. Someone who may want to take their life. I want you to play them this video. I want you to lift them up, and I want you to say, listen, you have confidence waiting on you. Subscribe to my channel, click the links below, hit me up on social media, follow me on IG, Twitter, Snapchat. And if you want to talk to me directly, my email is below. You can email me. We can set up a one-on-one. But I thank you all for watching, and I'm hoping and praying that this video encourages you to build your confidence. These are just 4 ways that I believe will help you stand out and become a more confident individual, which will affect everyone around you. I want you to believe that, and I want you to know that you can live confidently. Thanks.